Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something you've probably seen plastered on the wall of, well, just about every corporate lobby. But we aren't going to treat it like mere corporate jargon. Instead, we're going to deconstruct the mission statement and look at what our sources say about it within the larger context of your organization's foundational strategy. Because while it's often dismissed as just a dusty plaque near the elevator, a real mission statement is actually the living, breathing heartbeat of strategic management.
So, let's jump right in. Imagine I walked up to you right now and asked, why does your organization exist? What would you say? It sounds like a simple, almost philosophical question, right? But it is absolutely the ultimate question every single company has to answer clearly. Without a crystal clear answer to that, organizations risk internal friction, wasted resources, and honestly, just aimless wandering. It's the literal starting line for everything a business does.
To really get to the bottom of this, our explainer is broken down into 4 parts: foundations of strategic intent, defining the mission, anatomy of a great mission, and finally, evaluating your purpose.
All right, let's kick things off with Part 1, Foundations of Strategic Intent.
Before we can really grasp the mission statement itself, we need to understand its home within the larger context of strategic foundations. Think of the hierarchy of strategic intent like a pyramid, where everything flows from top to bottom. Up at the very peak, you have your vision. That's your massive, long-term dream. Down at the base, you have your plans, the super specific, everyday actions. The mission sits squarely right there in the middle, between that lofty, future-oriented vision and your grounded operational goals. It acts as the crucial bridge, translating the ultimate dream into tangible reality.
Now, this entire pyramid structure is driven by what management experts like Hamill and Provlod call strategic intent. And the key takeaway here is that strategic intent isn't just some mild preference to do a good job. No, it is defined as an organization's absolute obsession with winning. It's an obsession that stretches a firm's current resources and capabilities to their absolute limits. It gives employees a profound sense of direction, a sense of discovery to explore new territories, and this emotional sense of destiny that makes their daily grind actually feel worthwhile.
Moving right along to Part 2, Defining the Mission Statement.
At its absolute core, the mission is the company's raison d'etre, its fundamental reason for existence. A well-crafted mission is a clear declaration that answers 2 massive questions for us: who we are and what we do today. It announces exactly what the company is providing to society right now, whether you're providing consulting services, automobile tires, or the next big software app. Plus, it explicitly calls out the company's competitive advantages to definitively set it apart from the pack.
Now, it's super common for people to mix up vision and mission, so we really need to draw a hard, undeniable line between the two. Think about the time horizon. Vision is strictly long-term, while mission is comparatively short-term or immediate. As for focus, vision is all about the future, but the mission, it is focused completely on the present. So while your vision asks, where does this organization want to be down the road, your mission firmly plants its feet in the dirt today and asks, why does this organization exist right now?
Which brings us to Part 3, Anatomy of a Great Mission. So how do you actually craft a statement that drives real behavior instead of just gathering dust in an employee handbook? Well, one great approach is to keep it incredibly short. Experts often suggest 8 words or less. This is perfectly highlighted by Domino's Pizza's brilliant punchy mission: sell more pizza, have more fun. I mean, it is not bogged down in corporate jargon at all. Every single employee, from the folks in the boardroom to the delivery drivers, knows exactly what they are there to do today.
But hey, brevity isn't the absolute only way to win. Alternatively, a really great mission must be highly specific about its function and the exact market it serves. Take the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. Their mission is to assure the safety and health of America's workers by setting and enforcing standards. It's incredibly descriptive, right? It leaves zero ambiguity about their purpose, who their target demographic is, and the exact mechanism they use to achieve that goal.
Whether you go short and snappy like Domino's or highly descriptive like OSHA, the literature shows that effective missions share a handful of key characteristics. They need to be simple enough to be easily understood. They must be specific enough to actually provide boundaries for making decisions. They absolutely have to be realistic. Unrealistic claims are just going to discourage your team. And finally, they need to highlight the firm's strategic positioning and be super relevant to stakeholders, especially the customers.
Now, if you want to make sure your mission statement is truly comprehensive, strategists point to a checklist of essential components you should consider weaving together. Ask yourself,
Does your statement identify your basic product or service? Does it actually name the target market? Does it hint at the principal technology or your core philosophy? What about reflecting your self-concept and the public image you're trying to project? Actually, you don't necessarily need every single one of these crammed into a single sentence, but together, these components answer that critical question, what exactly is our business?
Okay, let's wrap things up with part 4, evaluating your company's purpose. We've talked a lot about the theory, right? Now let's apply a practical stress test to see if your organization's mission actually holds water out there in the real world. To do this, we turn to strategic management expert Andrew Campbell. He proposes a really fascinating 10-question evaluation framework. He argues that a mission should be a clear signpost for stakeholders and a genuine guide for employee behavior. His test asks probing questions like, does it describe an inspiring purpose that goes beyond just pleasing shareholders? Does it clearly define the business domain? Does it outline your responsibility to stakeholders? And crucially, does it actually capture your unique company culture?
Campbell's scoring system is pretty brutal, honestly. You score each of his 10 questions from 0 to 2. If your mission statement scores over a 15 out of 20, Campbell considers it exceptional. It's doing its job perfectly as that strategic foundation we talked about. But if your mission scores under a 10, well, it's definitely time to go back to the drawing board. A score that low means your mission is likely just empty words that aren't actually guiding your company's day-to-day actions.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on regarding the true operational power of a well-defined purpose. If your company's mission statement just disappeared tomorrow, poof, vanished from the website, erased from all the handbooks, would your employees actually know what to do? Think about it. If the answer is no, then you don't really have a mission, you just have a catchy slogan. A true mission is woven directly into the very fabric of your daily operations. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep refining your purpose, and I'll catch you next time.